Let's head to Pittsburgh, where a family waits in limbo. It's the family of Marc Fogel, a longtime educator who taught across the globe. Fogel has been stuck in Russian prison for months after authorities in Moscow found medical marijuana in his luggage. If that story sounds familiar, it's because it's very similar to Brittney Griner's situation. The WNBA star was just sentenced to 9 years in Russian prison, but Joe Biden is calling for her release, and the State Department is now negotiating a prison swap on her behalf. But what about Marc? Some Pennsylvania lawmakers are now writing the State Department to ask that very question. Lisa Hyland is Marc Fogel's sister, and she joins me now. Lisa, thank you so much for joining the program. Your family is definitely in our prayers. Have you heard from the Biden administration or the State Department on this matter?
First, I want to say thank you for having me. No, we have not spoken to the Biden administration directly. We have had several discussions with the State Department over the past year since my brother has been detained. But we haven't yet heard from them that they have designated him as wrongfully detained.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, because there is a law now. There's a 2020 law, the Robertson-Levinson Hostage Recovery Act and Accountability Act by the State Department, and it requires them to notify and designate if someone was wrongfully, captured. So what are you hearing?
Well, we have talked to the State Department on many occasions at various levels. We hear they are considering his case, but they have not yet designated him as wrongfully detained. And as of this moment, we haven't heard why they haven't. As you know, my brother had 17 grams of medical marijuana, and he was sentenced to 14 years in a hard labor camp in Russia. He is 61 years old.
Have you heard from him? How is he doing? Is he in good condition or not?
I don't think he's in good condition, no. The only way we hear from him is through letters. We have not spoken to him in a year, never had a phone call from him. We write letters through a prison letter writing system, so it certainly goes through the censors, written in Russian and translated, by cellmates or by Google Translate if it's on this side of the Atlantic. But that's kind of been the limit of our discussion with him. So it's very hard to get real information from him.
Lisa, do you feel like you and your family are being treated fairly by the United States government?
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that, really. I would say, we took a low profile with this case initially. The State Department, as well as our lawyers, advised us to do so because we were trying not to make Marc an asset. But once he got sentenced in the middle of June to this egregious sentence, we knew there was really no hope for him to work through the justice system, and we had to get political pressure to get him home because the legal system wasn't working for us in Russia.
So you guys, I just want to be clear on this before we go. You were encouraged by the administration and the State Department not to make a big stink about this because you didn't want that to be used as leverage. But now that's no longer working, which is why you're coming public. Is that right?
I would say it was the recommendation of everybody we talked to early on in the case, because we were really hoping for leniency and we were hoping not to make him an asset. But clearly the Russians have done that. They're clearly targeting him because he is an American, and they've given him this egregious sentence that is way beyond proportion to the crime. And so we now know we cannot count on the Russian legal system to treat him fairly, and we need to count on the American government to help get him home through some kind of prisoner exchange. And that starts with him being designated as wrongfully detained. So that's what we're asking for.
Yeah, we need to get all our people back. This is unacceptable. We know Putin is a monster, and we got to do whatever we can to get him back. We're praying for you and your family. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.